couple of days of practicing. How valuable was that? How needed was that after coming off that win against?
I mean, anytime you get an opportunity to get the guys together, it's huge for us, especially this time of the year. Just the amount of reps that you can get, the details that you can iron out, the small things that may be missing because you haven't had a lot of time to practice. So it's been good.
What did it mean to you to see Marc call that meeting with the players and you guys everyone kind of discuss amongst themselves what needed to be done? It seemed like that really lifted the spirits. From your perspective, how did it?
Yeah, I mean, when anything that leads to action, I'm fine with. I believe in. Words don't matter, as much as when we watch what happens on the court and how all of us participate in what it is that we're trying to get done. To me, that's the most important thing. For him to lead, that meeting and then go out and produce and perform the way that he did, that's what is important. I think that's what leadership is. That's what your best players are supposed to do. Those are the guys that everybody follows, and they follow actions. So it was great to see.
How do you guys kind of carry this momentum now that you made it from this last win on the road?
Stick to the details, and the importance of the message is what's going on right now. Whether it's a pick and roll coverage, I know it gets repetitive, but those are the only things that we can concern ourselves with is what's happening right now. What's my job right now? What's my responsibility right now? And hopefully, as a team, you carry out more of those. You have success at it, and the more success you have in those small battles lead to more wins, more success in the bigger battles.
Well, you guys are officially at the halfway point. How would you if you could use one word to describe that first half of the season, what would you use and why?
I think, two words. It was a bit of a roller coaster. Obviously there was some really highs and some really lows. And for us, it's about finding that consistency. Hopefully that consistency is on the high end where we just play well night in, night out. And if we do that, enough of the results will go in our favor. But, the ups and downs, on the court, off the court, those types of things, I think they hurt you. The best teams are the teams that find their peak and they stay there. They may have a small blip, but for the most part, they stay at their best. And we've been searching for that. Hopefully we'll find it the second half of the season.
JB, flashing back to something you said a couple weeks ago, you mentioned that over the summer you talked with veteran coaches to get a feel for how to use Jaren this year. What sparked that process of talking to some of those veteran coaches, and kind of how did that go?
It went well. There's a lot of guys in this league, who are valuable resources and love to share information. I think we have a really strong fraternity of coaches in this league. And, the thought behind it is when you have a kid like Jaren, you don't want to leave anything unturned and you don't want to miss anything. So being able to ask people who have been through the situation before, they give you insight into how to make things work, things that they missed at times that they don't want you to miss. So it was something where we want to make sure that Jaren becomes, the best that he can possibly be. So in that process, we're doing everything that we possibly can to help him get to that point.
I know it's not for another game, but we probably won't have a chance to speak to you before you guys play Houston. Can you just comment on the season that James Harden's putting together and the few games you guys have played him already this year, what he's been able to do against you guys?
It's crazy as it sounds. As good as he was last year, he got better. When we were in Houston together, we thought he was pretty good, and he's even better now. So credit to him for not, resting on his laurels and not settling. When you have an MVP campaign to come back even better, it says a lot about him and his ethic, and his commitment to working on his game. The ability to impact the game, in all areas. Obviously the scoring, the streak he's on now, I don't know if we've ever seen a streak like this before. But you always throw in the assists with him too, and the triple doubles are there. Then he switches and he's guarding big guys in the post. He's having an impact all over the floor at an extremely high level.
With Shelvin coming back into the rotation, and you've you've talked about kind of that situation with him a little bit. Is he now back as your primary backup? Do you have that as how does that go as the season goes on?
Yeah, I mean, I think so. I think there's opportunity for all three of those guys to play. The combination of Mike and Shelvin has been good for us at times during this year, and Javon has proven that he can be a spark for us. He can be disruptive on the defensive end of the floor. So there's matchups, there's nights, where you're going to need a bump, and Javon is a guy who you can always throw in, and you always know what you're going to get from him. You're going to get high energy, and I think there's a stretch we played with him and Mike or Shelvin on the floor. And I think that can be pretty dynamic as well.
How imperative is it with either Shelvin or Javon or even Kyle on the ball to get Mike reps off the ball to allow him to not only be offensive but maybe take a little bit of the load off of what he does?
I mean, it's important, that one of those guys, can orchestrate, can organize our guys. We count on Mike a lot and we wear him down. Our opponents know that. They put him in difficult situations defensively because that they try to wear him down. So we've got to find points in the game where we can get him off the ball, not only so he can get a breather, but so that guy who's guarding him can get a different look. Now that guy's got to chase him off of screens. We can wear their guy down a little bit as well.
The question has never been, can Mark give you a game like that? It's how do you get him to do 3, 4, 5 in a row or something like that? What's been the secret, or what can be the secret to reigniting that again?
We kind of went back and looked at the stretch we had earlier in the year to see what was going on and what we were doing different and what we were doing more of. And we just had the conversation that we had to get back to that. And we know, he's our carrier and we need him to play at a high level in order for us to win. And he knows that. So I think he was fed up with kind of where we were. And, he took that weight and went out and played, the way he played. And now, again, tomorrow's a new day, and that's the only thing that matters. And we need him to play his best again. And then we'll show up on Monday, and we'll ask the same thing of him. We'll come back here on Wednesday, we'll ask the same thing of him. And, we need him, there's no doubt about it.
Michael Green finished with a double-double. How big is it for you guys to get just quality minutes out of him?
Especially coming off the bench, being able to have some depth there and some productivity helps. Obviously, with how much we count on Mike and Mark, wherever we can get production is helpful to us. And to have a guy, who you don't have a call play for, and he can go find a double-double is huge. You need those rebounds. You need the production on the offensive end. His ability to stretch the floor and make threes helps his teammates because of his ability to space. So it's important, and he's important to us because he takes some of the pressure off, those bigs, whether it's offensively or defensively. He can take tough matchups on the defensive end. Heck, he guarded DeMar DeRozan in that last game. So there's so much he can do with his versatility that he can be really helpful.